Hello everybody. If you want all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 883, The Tapestry, upper advanced. The modern art gallery was silent except for the faint hum of the air conditioning. Helen stood in front of a massive, intricate textile piece that covered the entire back wall. It was not a traditional tapestry with scenes of knights or castles, but an abstract explosion of threads, wires, and textures. As an experienced restorer, Helen had been hired to evaluate its condition before an upcoming exhibition. She adjusted her glasses and stepped closer, her notebook poised. The artwork was a chaotic blend of rough twine, smooth silk, and metallic copper threads. It seemed to tell a story of deliberate entanglement. To the untrained eye, it looked like a beautiful mess, but Helen recognized the immense skill required to create such a deliberate tension. As she examined the lower left corner, she noticed something unusual. A single, thick crimson thread was woven through the piece, appearing and disappearing like a pulse. It did not seem to follow the geometric logic of the rest of the work. It looked almost like an afterthought, or perhaps a secret message left by the artist. Helen reached out, her gloved fingers hovering just millimeters from the surface. She tracked the crimson thread with her eyes as it snaked toward the center. There, it knotted into a dense, tight ball. It was a structural flaw that threatened to distort the fabric around it over time. Her professional instinct told her it needed to be straightened. She took her small pair of tweezers from her pocket. With absolute precision, she slipped the tip under the knot. A native speaker would have described her movements as surgical. She gently nudged the thread, expecting it to resist. Instead, with a tiny, sharp snap, the knot gave way. The effect was instantaneous. The tension that had held the entire abstract composition together vanished. Before Helen could gasp, the metallic wires uncoiled, the silk threads slid from their tracks, and the heavy twine unraveled. Within seconds, the masterpiece collapsed into a formless heap of string on the polished concrete floor. Helen stood frozen, her tweezers still extended. The gallery director walked into the room a moment later, stopping dead in his tracks. Helen turned to him, cleared her throat, and said calmly that the evaluation was complete and the piece was far more fragile than anyone had realized. If you learned a new word today, please make sure to subscribe so you can practice again next time. Vocabulary notes. Entanglement. The word entanglement refers to a complicated or twisted state where things are knotted or tangled together. In the story, the textile piece is described as a deliberate entanglement of threads and wires. In a broader sense, this word can also describe a complicated relationship or a difficult situation that is hard to escape from. Example, it seemed to tell a story of deliberate entanglement. Similar words, knot, twist, complication, mesh, web. Poised. When someone or something is poised, it means they are completely still but ready to move or take action at any moment. It combines the ideas of balance, readiness, and control. In the text, Helen holds her notebook in a way that shows she is completely prepared to start writing her observations. Example, Helen stood in front of a massive, intricate textile piece that covered the entire back wall. She adjusted her glasses and stepped closer, her notebook poised. Similar words, ready, prepared, waiting, balanced, positioned. Unraveled. To unravel means to separate or undo threads that are knitted, woven, or knotted. It can be used literally, as it is in the story when the artwork falls apart, Figuratively, it can describe a plan, a system, or someone's control over a situation completely failing or collapsing. Example: before Helen could gasp, the metallic wires uncoiled, the silk threads slid from their tracks, and the heavy twine unraveled. Similar words: untangled, unwound, disintegrated, collapsed, undone. Instinct. An instinct is a natural automatic behavior or tendency that is not learned through study or practice. It is an immediate feeling or reaction that guides a person's actions. For Helen, her years of experience have turned into a professional instinct that automatically tells her how to handle a flaw in an artwork. Example: her professional instinct told her it needed to be straightened. Similar words: intuition, urge, impulse, feeling, knack. Precision. Precision means the quality of being completely accurate, exact, and careful. When you do something with precision, you pay absolute attention to the smallest details to avoid making any mistakes. The story highlights this quality to show Helen's high level of skill as a professional restorer. Example: with absolute precision. She slipped the tip under the knot. Similar words: accuracy, exactness, meticulousness, care, sharpness. Story written by Gemini. Image created by Gemini. To listen to all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.